Welcome to the Golden Boot Podcast with your host, George Hancock, Cody Slavinsky, and Vandy Chris, only on the Dogs Media Network. Stay golden.
What is going on, everybody? It is time. It is time. It is time. This is the Golden Boot Podcast. My name is George Hancock. I'm joined by Jay Johnson's Towboy, Cody Slavinsky, and of course, as always, Vandy Chris. What's up, dudes?
Not much. I can't stop staring at your lights, man. I love it so much.
You love it so much, huh? It's distracting. It was my wife's idea. Let me tell you. I got a window behind me, and
give her a pay raise, man. I think it's great.
I know it looks good. I think it does.
So, are you modifying the setup in there so you can start moving your horse inside like we recommended?
Ooh, no, that's a negative. We are not modifying the house to get to get the horse in here. No, that's a negative Ghost Rider. How's y'all's week been? Anything interesting happened so far?
My LSU Tigers won the Houston Foundation Classic tournament this weekend. Yes,
Shut up, Chris. They did not.
Yes, they did. They announced that LSU was the champion.
That's a dumb way to do it.
JQ! Yo ho!
Both teams were 3-0. You can't decide a winner unless they play.
But there is a little twist there. So I didn't realize this, but Texas State, I forgot they came back and beat Houston. So Texas State and LSU were both undefeated going into their final game. LSU did good.
Nice.
Okay.
Go Tigers.
Okay.
Go Tigers. He says, go Tigers.
So actually, I've had a pretty good week.
You have?
But my understanding is that George has actually had a better week than I have. Okay, how so? Well, a little birdie told me that you might be celebrating a birthday or something. We have a special message for you tonight.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Dear George, happy birthday to you. As we grow older, our bucket list changes. I know your top item is to watch Arkansas win a College World Series. Thanks to Dave Van Horn, you will never see it. Happy birthday, Big Cock.
This is the dumbest. This is the dumbest thing I think. I mean, this is a month. Okay, let's let everyone know in here. This is straight up a month early. Okay, I will not be 35 until a month from now. Oh Lord! Yay!
Did you wish one true? What did you wish for?
A Reese's brownie, and I got one. Yay!
I will admit, your dessert game for podcasts.
You sunk this down way too deep. I'm gonna burn myself. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Well,
okay.
Clipping that for a sound clip in the future.
See, even James is saying happy birthday to you.
Wait, babe, it melted the candle in the brownie.
Eat it.
Are you serious? It's got wax all in it. Are you dead? It's got wax all in it. Hey, thanks, James. Appreciate it, buddy.
Wax never hurt anybody.
I thank you so much for the month early birthday celebration.
George gonna bite in that thing and burn his mouth. He's gonna be like,
"What the frick, man?
Emotional damage."
I love this sound.
I'm gonna bite into it, but like I need what?
Oh, she's sharing. Thank you.
About the wax, so here's the whole plate.
I don't need the whole plate. Oh my goodness, she's trying to get me to gain 500 pounds over here. Here, let me just. You just left the whole plate on my computer. Oh my goodness!
You're gonna eat it all, aren't you?
No,
it'll be gone by the time the podcast is over.
Oh my goodness! Gone by the time Icebreakers is over.
Ooh, it's good too.
Actually, we can use this to move into my icebreaker.
So, well, I was going to go ahead and tell you about my week so far. I had a really good day yesterday. As you guys know, went to the Vanderbilt game. I've been a huge fan of one of their senior basketball players on the women's team, Bella LaChance, since she stepped foot on campus. Okay. So I've retweeted her stuff, her highlights, all that for the past 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
This girl could have quit when everybody else did in 2020 when they canceled the 2021 season. They canceled the 2021 season.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She could have quit.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
She stuck it out.
Good.
Got a new coach.
Mm.
Her second year, they had 7 players. She had to play every single game. I mean, it was hell on wheels. Her third year, they had 8 players. Again, had to play every single game, hell on wheels, backs against the wall, every game they played. Well, now she's a senior. Yesterday was senior day for her. She got to start yesterday. The team's going to the NCAA tournament. They've won. They're 22-8.
Mm-hmm.
And after the game, she actually took me to the side and introduced me to her mother, her aunt and uncle,
wow,
her godparents, her grandfather, introduced me to her whole family.
Wow,
and
that's really cool.
It was really neat. I was taken aback by that.
I like your
it
hat,
meant something here.
Yeah,
beautiful hat, beautiful hat.
So, happy birthday month, George. It's not that okay. She's saying I get to start my birthday month the month before my birthday.
That means you don't have to do anything for a month, man.
You know what? Hey,
he don't do anything.
I love it. Even though my birthday's in April, I love this idea. Anybody in the comments? We got some people in tonight. Would you rather start your birthday month the month before and have it end the day of your birthday? Or would you rather it start the day of your birthday and have a whole birthday month after?
So that's a tough one because with me, I basically share a birthday with my oldest because her birthday is 2 days after mine. And this year, mine was a Saturday, hers was a Monday. And obviously, me being older, I'd rather her have the better celebration than me because I don't really care about a birthday now. And it's just another day for me.
Right.
But I would like to do a birthday month. I think that'd be fun.
There it says day of. Yeah. What do you think, Chris? Would you rather have it? Oh, see, Dominic says split the difference. 2 weeks before, 2 weeks after. Look at this man.
He's a genius. He really is. There's a reason that he's doing all the stuff he does for dogs. He has a good mind.
I'm thinking pre-party, GQ says. There you go.
Not bad.
I'm thinking I'm 55 years old, and I don't like celebrating birthdays because it reminds me that I'm getting older every time I have one.
I need to check more on that. That would be very interesting, James. Oklahoma softball is suspected of throwing a game and point shaving.
Yeah, because we're going to talk about their loss tonight.
We are
going to.
Yes, we are.
I'm going to do a little bit of research. I know we have a cell phone rule, but I'm breaking that rule tonight.
Oh, he says by me.
Oh.
Hey, you're a good source there, James. You're a good source. Dominic Ambrose, yes.
Yeah, the fact that they lost to the Cajuns out of UL, doesn't surprise me because that team is always scrappy every year. When they put LSU out last year in the NCAA tournament, which obviously that's UL is our biggest rival. I don't care what the sport is; they essentially are our biggest rival. And so there's a lot of hate with us and them. That being said, my LSU Tigers have the longest win streak in softball right now. And I love every second of it.
It's great.
Let me tell you something. 19 games.
Something like that. Let me tell y'all something. If you're in the store and you have a choice between regular brownies and Reese's brownies, get the Reese's brownies.
I'd give the Reese's brownies.
They're amazing. I didn't even know there was a thing until she pulled it out of the cabinet earlier and goes, "Hey, do you want me to make these?" I was like, "No, I don't want you. No, put them back. Save them forever." They're quite delicious.
I bet.
He's talking with a mouthful of food.
The
only thing to make that better.
Here's the thing.
We're doing ASMR tonight.
No, we're not. We're family on the boot, right? We are.
Exactly. We're
the only thing to make that brownie better is some Bones coffee, sir.
Well, yeah, but I need a tall glass of milk because it is pretty.
It's sticky, ain't it?
Yeah, it is. It's like what's
Maybe
that word?
Sarah's still
Rich.
watching.
It's really rich.
Gotcha.
It's really rich. By the way, since we are all family, I need to point everybody's attention down to the bottom of the screen. If you haven't already, please like, follow, share this broadcast with friends, family, whoever. Get us. We're trying to grow our YouTube page. So if you would follow us and subscribe, like and subscribe on YouTube. That is Golden Media Sports Network on YouTube. This is the Golden Boot Podcast. You find us on Twitter at Golden Podcast. Follow us on TikTok, Golden Media Sports. Follow us on YouTube. It's Golden Media Sports Network. And you can always email us questions at the Golden Boot Podcast at gmail.com. Somebody send me an email. I don't even care if it says hi. Just send me an email. We get some emails. It's a simple one. The Golden Boot Podcast at gmail.com. And as always, special thanks to our sponsors, Verizon, Rogue, Energy, Temu, Georgia Boot, and Varsity Base. Let's get this thing kicked off right. I'm excited tonight. It's my birthday month, of course. So, you know, we ought to do that. But first, as always, we do have to give our viewers a little bit of a warning.
Warning. What you're about to experience is heavily biased Vanderbilt content. Please turn away now if you're operating heavy machinery. This is your warning.
That's okay. That's fine. Whatever. It's been on the last 2 or 3 podcasts we've done. George Hancock, the milk is past your date. Also, you should probably tell Abby. Ooh, yeah, probably so. By the way, before we get into this, I want everybody to answer. When is the milk expired? Okay, if you go in your fridge right now and it has an expiration date of the day after today, do you throw it out or is it it's okay to drink it?
Nope. I usually quit drinking it 3 days before the expiration date.
3 days?
Hmm?
Do you do the sniff test first?
No, I just look at it in the fridge. And I'm like, hey, I'm not drinking that. Usually by then we bought a new gallon of milk anyway, so I'll open the new gallon even if there's a half a gallon left.
There you go.
I'm picky.
Chris, what do you think?
It's generally it's the day on the carton.
Mm-hmm.
But if I get it beforehand and it's kind of got a funny look and a smell to it, nah.
Yeah, I it's a principle of mine, and I'll tell you why real quick before we get into our main part of the show. I remember as a kid going and being like, "Ooh, I want a big old glass of milk with my brownie or whatever, cookies or something," and going in there and not looking at the expiration date, and then opening the carton and it goes, and I was like, "Oh."
Yes, that's so gross.
Yeah, I don't want to drink yogurt. Okay, especially no, thank you. Yeah. Okay. So Sarah says, if it's been opened the day of, I test it. If it's sealed the day of, that one is 2/16. The newer one is gone. Yeah, there's one in there from February the 16th. Yeah. It needs to go down the drain because it was one of those things where
it's probably so thick right now it won't go down the drain.
It was one. It was one of those things where it got pushed to the back of my fridge. Okay. But I've
been there, done that.
JQ says times. When it smells. That's what he says. At least your wife is celebrating extra birthday. Jags wishes a birthday happy birthday, then turned around and cut him. Oh, yes, they did. They did wish a player happy birthday and then cut him. Oh my goodness. It's a use by date, not an expiration date, Isaiah Brooks says. Well, I mean, there you go. It is a use by date, but
there's another aspect to that too. As long as you keep it in a dark location.
James, if you've already subscribed, dude, you're good. You don't have to subscribe every time. You just
We're okay
subscribe
with
once.
it.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, if you keep your refrigerator dark at all times, it's better.
Oh,
But the more light that's shined on it, the faster it goes bad.
Troy, yes, this is a no Kenny zone. Yes, that is correct.
It took me a second to understand what that meant.
I'm
Yes,
thinking, what is he talking about at NKZ?
I don't know.
Speaking of Kenny, he should be on here in about what, 5 minutes?
Oh yeah, 5
I'm
minutes.
kidding,
no,
I'm kidding.
no. Let's get into this thing. All right, so Caleb Williams, first question of the day. Caleb Williams, good morning, everybody. First question: are you afraid to compete? They jumped on him like white on rice. And Dominic,
Absolutely.
I hope you were there to see it, because I heard it was a bloodbath.
It was,
I heard it.
and I watched the interview. It was, and you know, the one thing that I found funny was the fact that homie had not been to a barber in a while. He just came in there like he just crawled out of bed, and I loved it.
Yeah,
That being said,
yeah.
I've been reading a lot online about it, and I think he's purposely trying to tank his draft stock. I really believe it at this point.
You know what? Wow, that is a crazy statement. That would make so much sense, in a sense of, if you don't care about money, because that's the only thing you would care about, is if you just don't care about being the number one draft pick, and you purposely try to tank yourself to not go to Chicago.
I mean, I look at it like this. Okay, so you look at Chicago. They have Justin Fields right now. Justin Fields
Yep.
is a good quarterback.
Yeah.
He just doesn't have all the talent he needs around him. Okay. Why would you, as an elite quarterback, want to go into the same exact situation?
Wrong Dominic, Troy. I'm talking about Dominic Ambrose, not Dominic.
Well, Dominic's show is also going on tonight. They're doing their Sunbelt Syndicate baseball show.
They're doing their baseball show. It's really good too.
Very good show.
Check that out. Yeah, JQ says
So
smells
here's
like a tank. He doesn't want Chicago.
Or this could be really him, and he's not really good at public speaking. And,
Maybe.
you know, because if you remember, Vince Young, if
Yeah.
he was any dumber, would have been a watermelon seed.
Well, either way. Well, the thing is, though, I mean, like when he was in college, when he was at USC, he didn't look like this. He didn't talk like this. He had some pretty good engagements, but like that's the thing. Like I don't know. This is a genius move. If this is his end goal, this is his end goal to not go to Chicago, this is a genius move.
I mean, there's a lot to
Big
think about
brain
here
move.
too. He's from the Washington D.C. area. Why not
Yeah.
go to the Commanders? I mean,
Yeah.
he would be the hometown hero,
Yeah,
and he could be home with his family. I mean, it gets no better than that.
right. That's pretty genius. If
Now-
if that's actually what he's doing, that's a genius move, man.
I mean, I really don't know what it. Obviously, I'm not in his mind. I can't read
Right.
it, but just from what
Sure.
I've seen, I really believe that I mean, truly believe he does not want to be in Chicago, and I don't.
No,
now
well,
who
again,
Chicago takes, I'm now hearing JJ McCarthy may actually be the number one overall pick.
Please
Which
take him.
I'll be honest with you, no hate to JJ McCarthy, but I would not put my money into him that high.
I've no hate to JJ McCarthy either, but I mean he would
But
hate Chicago.
But here's the thing.
Mm.
It doesn't matter who goes number one. It doesn't matter who goes last. It's
Yeah.
all a crapshoot anyway.
Yeah, I mean, Brock Purdy is a perfect example of that.
Sure. And it's true. I wish I had. There was a great explanation of how Brock Purdy went to San Francisco. If you caught it on Pat McAfee, that was great. I don't have it, but if you can catch it, somehow they traded for something or whatever, and one of their compensatory picks, I think is how you say it, whenever they traded whoever, I think it was Trey Lance, that they got from Dallas, was actually the very last pick they had, and they picked up Brock Purdy.
That worked out really well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. How much better does Minnesota look? Pittsburgh, Denver. Yeah, because we'll get into that in a little bit. Denver has been making moves. Pittsburgh is, for some reason, looking like the favorite for Justin Fields. Everybody anticipated. I kind of thought just based off of how things were rolling that Justin Fields may go to Atlanta. Now people are talking about Minnesota. What the heck is happening right now? I don't even know where he's going to go.
I actually listened to somebody today say the Titans looking at taking Ladd McConkey in the second round. I'm thinking, my first thought is, why would you take somebody that high that has a history of back injuries that has kept him out of multiple games the last 2 years? No, don't stop it.
He's not, Troy. He's not tonight. He's not. We were kidding with you, buddy.
Yeah, I agree, Chris, 100%. Because his back injuries. I mean, last 2 seasons for sure have been serious. Now that being said, though, in the Senior Bowl and everything, like he's had good workouts. Like he's looked really good, and there's no doubting his talent because his talent obviously is there. He was the most sure-handed receiver at Georgia, but. Well,
your best commodity is your availability.
Yes, 100% agree. 100% agree. And I mean, like in the SEC championship game against LSU last season or season before this one that ended, he came in with the known back injury and he played minimal and he kind of re-aggravated it in the game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's a risk.
It's pretty.
I'm not wasting a pick on somebody that's got a history of a back injury like that.
Yeah.
So speaking of that,
San Francisco actually did that.
Yeah. So why is Caleb Williams not releasing his medical information? That's
a great question. Why did he not go get tested either? Why did he not go through all of his medical testing? I mean, like,
that one's interesting to me. Like,
there's something there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there has to be. And I'm wondering if it's more of his dad's in his ear about this stuff and it's like, hey, or his agent and his dad at this point. They're like, hey.
Remember, there was a baseball pitcher that didn't go through the workouts and the testing either. And it ended up costing him a $9 million signing bonus.
Yeah.
You talking about Kumar?
Kumar Rocker.
Yeah. What's he doing now, by the way? I haven't heard his name in over a year.
He's in the Rangers farm system. They picked him up last year.
Wow.
Okay. He's down there with Jack Leiter.
JQ says Chicago needs to take Marv and a tackle and just keep Fields. I mean I honestly I don't even know why, huh?
That makes too much sense.
Because it makes way too much sense.
Because Marvin Harrison Jr. is not his dad. Stop it.
Kirk says no discount deal for Minnesota. Yeah, Kirk Cousins is not taking less money to remain at Minnesota.
No.
Which means more than likely him and Justin Jefferson are gone. Because
Justin Jefferson, I'm scratching my head on still. I don't know what they're going to do with him yet. But
Minnesota doesn't have the money. They don't have the cap space.
Yeah, so Kirk Cousins, though, he's definitely at the tail end of his career where he has to get another big contract or he's
If you want to talk cap space, somebody just took an $85 million cap hit today.
Yeah,
that was ballsy.
Somebody. I'm sure you're referring to me.
No,
the Broncos.
Oh, you're talking about? Oh, no. Okay, all right. Yeah. Well, it just so.
You talking about AJ Dillon getting let go or something?
No. Now that I was about to say that wasn't an official contract. No, $85 million is the projected guaranteed money that Jordan Love's going to get. So that's why I thought you were poking fun at me already.
No, I was like, the Broncos released Russell today, and they have $85 million in dead cap money.
Yeah,
yes, they do. Right here, after Russell Wilson's release, Broncos take an NFL record $85 million in dead cap space. This, I'm going to be honest with you.
He's not worth that much money. I'm sorry.
I got to be honest with you.
Come on the roster and pay him?
No.
I
mean, they made the right decision.
I don't think they made the right decision. I do not think they made the right decision. Russell Wilson has had a bad year. Yes. What they should have done is go, hey, rather than, 3, whatever.
He's on the wrong team is what it is.
It's wrong team. But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing.
He's done.
Hey, NFL execs. Hey, Broncos execs. Let's see. Do we take nearly $100 million in dead space, or do we try to get the right coaches in place to get Russell a good system that fits? And
I
I don't know.
You go back 2 years and you don't sign him because he's done.
Well, yeah, but you can't.
And you ain't got to worry about all this.
I mean, let's be real. He has not had a great NFL career. I don't care what anybody says. He has not.
But here's the facts. It's cheaper to keep him on the roster than to take an $85 million cap hit.
Exactly my point. Because an $85 million in dead cap space, you can't do anything with. Dead cap means you cannot do anything with it. It is there, and keep him on the bench and try to make him void the contract. Exactly, GQ. I mean, you can't just take. And whoever made this decision, it had just cost the Broncos a ton of talent. I mean, 85 million. You got to think 85 million. The rookie contract. Dominic says 85 million dead cap, not official. They can designate it post June 1st, and number drops to 35.4.
That's actually what the radio show I was listening to when they talked about it. His release will be official on June 1st, and it will be an $85 million cap hit on June 1st.
Well, if that's the case, but if they designate it, because I mean Dominic is kind of at the combine, so he probably knows what he's talking about. But if it does drop to 35.4, that's not terrible. But at the same time, it's still $35 million you can't spend on another player. So, it's $35 million just sitting there.
Do y'all think that Russell Wilson's going to follow another former Denver Broncos quarterback and make an attempt to go play pro baseball?
Why would he?
No, he's not.
I mean, if he still thinks he's got his athletic prime in him.
No, he doesn't have his athletic prime in him. And he was in a bad system in the Broncos to begin with. It was stupid from the beginning to try and put him in their system.
George, stop it with the bad system excuses. He's done. He's been done for 3 years. Stop with the excuses.
The only reason he was good in Seattle is because he had Marshawn Lynch to give the ball to.
I mean,
he's been done for 3 years.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, if they would have given Marshawn the football, they would have won one of their Super Bowl appearances.
Well, that's true. That's true. James says trade him to Green Bay. Why? And Sarah says, do not trade him to Green Bay. Thank you. Took the words right out of my mouth.
I just don't know where he would fit in the NFL. I can't think of another team.
It'll lose me. I mean, yeah. Sarah says correct. Marshawn Lynch saved his ass too many times. Yeah, it's true. I mean, really. Agree with Chris. He's been done for 3 years. It appears the defense was carrying him prior to that.
Oh, 100%.
That is a very good point. The Seattle defense was stout when he was, and under pressure, like Russell ran around like a chicken with its head cut off. But like under pressure, he wasn't that great. His QBR was bad. And putting him in a primary QB role in in Denver, that you don't have Marshawn Lynch, you don't have a star-studded defense, and the team is on his back, showed his true colors. I agree with that. What the heck happened to Cody? He just disappeared. Someone said Minnesota for Wilson just to try and appease JJ. Yeah, you think Justin Jefferson would stay if Russell Wilson was there? I don't think so. I don't know. Someone can say that. Good God.
Minnesota does not have the money to re-sign Justin Jefferson. It's not possible.
No, it doesn't. And matter of fact, we've done blown right over top of it. We're going to take a quick break here, right here on the Golden Boot podcast. When we come back, we will discuss a little more about this, and we'll have more topics coming up in the Golden Boot. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Boy, that's Mediocre.
Then what the f are you doing?
I was drinking that.
No, you were surviving it. Give excitement a try with Bones Coffee. Click on the link below to order some for yourself. Here. Whoa is right. That substance you were sipping before is what we in the industry refer to as ass water. Sure, it technically has caffeine, but at Bones Coffee, we believe in the experience of waking up every morning looking forward to that first tasty cup. That's why we roast carefully selected beans in small batches to perfection, so you can count on quality in every cup. And not only that, Bones has a ton of fabulous flavors from which to choose.
Bang! Did someone mention flavors? Highland Greg, pleasure to meet you.
What'll it be, Greg?
You know, I've been hankering for the spiced rum flavor of Highland Grove, please.
Greg, I'm surprised by the size of your bagpipe.
Ugh, it's not the size of the bagpipe that matters, laddie.
Yeah, it's how hard you blow it.
Yeah, let's leave the talking to me.
Oh, gee, I just got back from chasing some hosers out of the grilling rink. I could go for some maple bacon coffee right about noon.
Coming right up.
Hey, kid. You single?
Yeah.
That's why this place looks like
Here you are, my salty siren.
Thanks. I need the salted caramel chocolate pick-me-up after dealing with this loser.
How in the world are all these people getting in here?
We just walked in. Click on the link below to stop drinking water and get yourself Bones Coffee today. Or
Yo, what's going on? This is Jacob Hester, former LSU running back, here to tell you about a brand new college football podcast, the Golden Boot Podcast. Give it a listen, give it a try, give it a follow. They're going to work hard to be your new favorite podcast.
You're listening to the Golden Boot Podcast. Stay golden.
All right, welcome back into the Golden Boot Podcast. Not 32 teams can draft me. There's only one of me. On his decision to not do medical testing at the NFL Combine.
I heard he was expected to be a first-round draft choice at the Dodgers. He's looking forward to playing at Jackie Robinson.
Who? I could you cut in and out, Chris. I couldn't hear you. Who?
So Caleb Williams, I'm under the understanding he's looking forward to being the number one draft pick at the Dodgers and playing at Jackie Robinson.
All right.
I mean, it was. I saw it on the internet. It had to be true, right?
It had to be true. If it's on the internet, that's true. That's right. Salary cap is a fantasy. They got $43 million in voidable contracts, not counting Brian O'Neill's $20 million, which here's something he'll have it. So that must be about Denver. This is what English is this? Not 32 teams can draft me. There's only one of me. Well, yeah. I mean,
so I guess what he's saying is he's probably already been told who's going to take him and who's not. And he's probably been like, hey, I'll do my stuff for you. And that's it.
Oh, yeah. Well, there you go. That must be it.
But
that's pretty interesting. I mean, here we are in that aspect of it. I do have switching gears here. Is that not one fantastic cover for college football 25? Now, this is not official.
No, but it looks official.
But that would be incredible.
If they don't do that, they are cowards.
That being said, where the heck is the pirate flag?
I don't know, but
that's all this thing is missing.
That is an amazing.
It really is. That's beautiful. I love it.
Cover. What a tribute to the pirate. I mean, that is just
that's what they should do, a Legends edition, and put like him on one, Saban on one, and just have like some legendary coaches make it on there. That would
you would make so much money. if this is, I mean, they're going to make money regardless because everybody and their sisters, brothers, cousins, aunt, uncle is going to buy this thing.
Yeah.
Troy is on to something here.
What?
The Legends Edition with Washington State. Ryan Leaf on the cover.
Ryan Leaf. Hey, he was a great
on the cover,
player.
baby.
He was terrible in the NFL. Arguably one of the biggest busts in the NFL. But this was on Twitter
not even
today.
Close.
No, I mean
my boy Jamarcus Russell on there.
Oh yeah.
No, he's not even the worst.
I don't
Todd
know.
Marinovich.
Marinovich.
Dude, his documentary is crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. But I mean, this is an absolute game changer. If a Legends Edition comes out and they have the Pirate, Nick Saban, that's an easy opportunity for them to get more money because people are going to be like, oh, you know what? I'm going to collect each one of them. I can only play one of them, but I'm going to buy all of them because I can collect them all. I think that would be a phenomenal idea.
So if you're doing a Legends Edition,
yeah,
there can only be one legend from the Vanderbilt University, and that would be Frank Mordecai, right?
I know where you're going with this.
I actually met his son yesterday.
From Vanderbilt?
Yes, Frank was actually inducted to the Vanderbilt Hall of Fame this weekend, and I got to meet his son yesterday.
Yeah, that's awesome. I told you that warning would come in handy. Just, ladies and gentlemen.
Shut up, George.
I'm about to say, now, Chris, can you explain to us why he was inducted into the Hall of Fame? What was his big thing that he did?
He was the first SEC running back to rush for 200 yards in a single game, and actually held the single game rushing record for multiple years until just recently. I think somebody broke it.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not mistaken, it was 305, and it just recently got broke. So, pretty big deal.
Wow. What do you guys think about this cover? I know we've got a few in here already saying they love it. What do you guys think?
It's beautiful. I think one thing too that would be cool is if they release the games based off conferences as well. So you have like a Big Ten edition, a SEC edition, a Pac-2 edition.
That'd be cool. Pac-2.
But no, do something like that. And I mean, I think that would just be awesome.
Yeah. Well, following the same suit, it was actually shown today that there are 10,000 plus athletes in the game currently and counting, according to EA Sports.
$600 to 10,000 people. Jeez.
10,000 plus. Yep.
That's a lot of money.
In the game. Now, I don't know how many are in Madden or whatever, but that's a lot. That's a lot.
Absolutely. Now it makes me wonder too if this might go down as the highest selling sports game of all time.
Oh, without a doubt.
And if you look at the commercial they released, they said something in the commercial that stuck out to me. They said, we're just getting started.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if that is a sign of them bringing back college basketball games as well.
Maybe.
Because I would love that.
I mean, now that we have the NFL, that would absolutely NFL NIL. That's absolutely a possibility.
So I do have to correct Jacques for just a second. A Big Ten edition with Joe Pa. That can't be because 90% of his career was not in the Big Ten.
Well, Sarah says as long as we have Jackson Dart, she can't.
Jackson Dart too busy flying planes.
Yeah, that is the coolest NIL contract I've ever seen. Though
Q also said, "I heard Arch Manning is a no-go so far." Does that surprise me? No, it doesn't. Doesn't surprise me in the least bit. Can't play it.
I don't get it.
Can't tell who's on there. I don't know them as much as y'all. Oh well, yeah, I don't either.
I'm wondering how many people are going to buy a new game system just to buy this game.
National championship coach Jody Robinson in the house. Jody, yeah. GQ just said Arch Manning is a no-go so far for the game.
That is so stupid.
I've heard many different people say that Arch Manning, one of the reasons that Texas has not bended to his will and played him or whatever is because he is just an a-hole. about everything and anything he does. And I don't know. It's pretty crazy deal.
Or he's just not as talented as advertised.
Actually, okay, so there's some actual like big press releases on this right now about Arch Manning. Troy, if you are still watching, there has got to be one of your writers that can put out an article about this, because this would actually get some huge traction. Just saying.
What's one of the articles?
Oh, it's a report. Texas's Arch Manning will not opt into EA Sports College Football 25.
That's a big deal.
Yeah. I'm trying to see if there's like any reasonings put behind it.
But
okay, this makes no sense. According to Anwar Richardson, and he writes for Orange Bloods. It says, according to Richardson, Manning's move to not opt into the game is so he can focus on football on the field. How in the heck does that even apply? All you have to literally say is, okay, I will do it. Thank you. You get a free game. You get $600. Boom. You're in a video game.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, unless they like want his player mechanics, but that's literally a day. You go down there, they put a bunch of like little foam balls on you, and you practice throwing. Like, come on, bro. Like,
so
I don't know.
I noticed Jockey, you said, reminded me that Penn State is now in the Big Ten, and the history now belongs to the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Paterno was erased from the NCAA record books.
Well, that goes down a whole rabbit hole I don't feel like getting into tonight.
Right.
We could be here all night for that. But does anyone else feel like Arch has been trying to downplay his hype this whole time? Yeah, that's a great point.
I don't know if he's trying to do it or not, or he's just not that talented.
Yeah, they don't have any games.
So, to be perfectly honest about Arch, like if you look at his high school stuff, it wasn't anything special. I mean, like he didn't stick out to me. I mean, he's a fine quarterback, but he's not. Like, I don't see him as being as good as his grandfather, his dad, or even an athlete like his dad, or as good as his uncle.
He was Well, that's the thing. The league he played in, the conference he played in, he should have been the best. He should have been the best quarterback and the most outstanding one, and the best team, and whoop anybody they come against, because the rest of the teams were awful, except for like I think one.
Well, I mean, it's like that 5-star at Tennessee. George McIntyre plays on a team that can't win a game,
right?
But yet he's a top quarterback.
Went 1-9.
Yeah.
1-9 with a 5-star wide receiver.
Yeah,
switching gears here, because we can talk about Arch Manning all night. Jay Bilas had some fun with his whole comments thing. I'm sorry, Sister Jean, but fans don't belong on the court. Jay Bilas will be sending you to Alcatraz. He shared it on his Twitter.
Funny. That is so funny.
If you caught the show last week, we had quite the debate regarding should court storming or field storming be banned. Jay Bilas said, don't care, arrest all of them, and it will quit. So, and I couldn't find the video. I hope somebody else did. I meant to tell y'all earlier. But Alabama, the University of Alabama,
they practiced.
They had a practice where it was a court storming practice, and this was laughable at best. Okay, I watched this thing, and I'm like, how is that supposed to work?
It didn't have to get. The best part is the video surfaced after the game.
Yes, yes. Well,
and all the practice that they went through to stop the court storming didn't have to be used because they got their butts kicked.
Well, it wasn't even that. Like that didn't even matter. The what I was laughing at is the attempt of trying to stop a court storm is have people in yellow outfits, like real bright colored outfits, holding some kind of like rope or chain to keep them in there. Number one, somebody's going to get majorly hurt, and the university is going to have to answer for it because that's just part of it. But number two, when you have, I don't know how many people sit on the front row, like let's say the first 3 rows of a court just flood out onto the field or onto the court. 10 dudes with some rope or chain isn't going to stop that. I'm sorry.
Nah, what you do is you hire 200 security personnel, have 2 rows of them. Each one is like armed with like a t-shirt cannon. As you come out on that field,
a t-shirt cannon,
or use a bean bag. Oh my gosh, that would be funny. I'm telling you, I'm all for them using some kind of weapon towards the fans.
Listen, I told you. 1 minute countdown with electric fence. Problem solved. You're done. The electric fence does not go away until after the countdown has subsided. You may hear some screams. You may have some people poop themselves because they got shocked. But
I would like to thank our good Lord and Savior for the speedy recovery of Filipowski from Duke, as he is now throwing down dunks again for the Blue Devils after his near death experience recently.
Well, that was the next thing I'm going to get to because I just got to find it. I have it in here somewhere. Right here. It was actually, Kyle Filipowski's throwing down windmills just a week after nearly getting killed during a court storm. Listen, can we talk about this? Filipowski is the most dramatic crybaby I've ever seen in my life. The dude literally was just almost bawling because he was hurting so bad. And the very next week he's windmill dunking. Come on.
Okay.
Come on.
So just because he windmill dunked yesterday means he wasn't in pain last week? Stop it.
I know it's really hilarious though. It's this whole all the media and everybody got behind Filipowski and all this stuff about, we can't have players getting hurt, whatever, and he was in a dangerous situation, and Barstool come in off the top rope, nearly getting killed during court storm.
Well, I mean, all our LSU fans, we sent that fan in when Caitlin Clark got hit on the court, and we sent that fan into Bull Rusher, and we were hoping to stop her from setting the NCAA score and mark, and we failed.
You failed. More to come on
shout
that.
out to Caitlin Clark. That was fantastic what she did the other night.
Well, it's
okay. I'm ready to address that one too.
Which one?
Caitlin Clark.
Well, here she is. Address away. She's looking at you.
She did not break the record. Stop lying.
Technically, she didn't. I know.
I think I have that somewhere in here too. Right here. There you go. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes. Okay. That is the record.
Can you explain to Gen Z and millennials who have no idea who this person is what's
Frances Marion? She is the all-time leading scorer in college athletics, bar none. It's not even close. She played in the AIAW, which was the NCAA before the NCAA became the NCAA.
So basically, Caitlin holds the record when the NCAA.
She holds the NCAA record.
Yeah.
She holds the NCAA record. She does not hold the college scoring record.
Okay.
It's not even close.
She would hold it if she came back another year for sure.
No.
But she made that decision already.
Wait a minute. How many points does she have career-wise?
I can't remember the number off the top of my head.
Nope. Obviously.
I was just reading it like 2 hours ago.
Here you go. I got it right here. I got it right in front of me. She has 3,685 career points. Could she clips that march of 4,061?
Very well could.
Yeah. I mean, Dominic, look at the fancy lights George got. They're not fancy, but thank you. They look fancy. Go ahead, Chris. What were you going to say?
So, and there's a lot of controversy about her playing more time than Pistol Pete did.
Yep. Yeah,
Stop
I know.
Crying.
Well, that's what JQ said. She played an extra year than Pete, too, and of course had the 3-point line. Yeah. I mean, hey, it's kind of that deal. JQ, back to the whole Penn State thing. Joe Paterno had his last 14 years wiped. He was a Hall of Famer before that, and still the 12th winningest coach. Yeah. Yeah. But, so yeah, I mean, she now holds the NCAA record. And what's interesting about that is this here it is. Nike got into the act. They put this was never a long shot on the opposite side of the street of the graphic of her shooting. So like she's shooting a goal.
That's cool.
That's ingenious marketing by
that
Nike,
really is. I love that.
That's pretty cool. And I mean it's it. She's not done yet. So, and here's the crazy thing. How many? So she's going to be a senior next year, right?
She's already opted out. She's going pro.
Oh, she is.
She's already announced.
She announced it last week.
She already announced.
Oh, well, shoot. I was going to say she's going to make even more money in college than she would pro.
Yeah, and that's why I'm shocked that she's not staying because I know how much money she could make.
I don't know. Maybe it's a personal thing. Maybe it's she's tired of college. I don't know. I mean,
I think she's tired of all the drama.
Well, that and honestly, she might be bored.
She could be.
I mean, at the end of the day, nobody. I haven't seen anyone this.
Terry, what's up, dude? Good to have you, man.
And I'm super biased to my Lady Tigers, but let's be real. Even though we won the national championship over them last year, nobody on that team,
Q says you need to beat your drum for Pete. There
Pete
you go.
who? Oh, Pistol Pete. Yeah.
Yes,
Pete
who? An LSU fan. Pete who?
And I was like, what? Nah, yeah, for Pistol Pete, I mean, what he did in his era was phenomenal. Yeah. And obviously, I think they said he'd have had over 4,700 points if he would have played in the modern era with a 3-point line and all that, which doesn't surprise me. I mean, the guy was a freak of nature, and he didn't even. I mean, I think he played 2 seasons.
Yeah.
So
okay. So let's. I'm going to ask a question here.
He actually played 3 seasons. His freshman season, LSU did not allow freshmen to play on the varsity team, but he did play his freshman season on a freshman team.
But did they count those points in that?
I don't think they have. But he did have 3 seasons at LSU on the varsity.
Yeah. We're going to take a quick break, and then I'm going to ask a question when we come back because we're going to stay here on Caitlin Clark. But I'm going to ask you a question on the break. Be thinking about it. Is it better to have one of these lifetime records, or is it better to win a national championship? Because obviously, Caitlin Clark does not have a national championship. So which one is better? And we'll answer that when we come back right here on the Golden Boot Podcast. Right back. Right back.
Seasoning, food's favorite flavor.
Yum, yum, get you some.
I'm Joe Burrito, your favorite burrito. Whoa, whoa.
Joe, we all know you're the best.
What?
You can always do better. Try the new Dano's Hot Chipotle.
Hey. Ooh, that's spicy. Yum, yum.
Yum, yum, get you some.
Icy Breeze is the world's first portable air conditioner and cooler. A premium ice cooler that doubles as an eco-friendly portable air conditioner. This is not a swamp cooler, just blowing air across ice. Over 60 parts and components allow Icy Breeze to achieve what no other product in the world can do. The secret behind the Icy Breeze is an innovative design that circulates chilled ice water through a heat exchanger in the lid, replacing the Freon used in most ACs. Fresh air is drawn from hidden vents in the top of the cooler, pulled across the exchanger, and chilled down to 35 degrees cooler than the outside air. A 3-speed fan control delivers Icy Breeze's dry, cold air up to 25 miles per hour, just like a car AC. And a stay-put flex hose directs the breeze in any direction. wherever you need it. Icy Breeze helps you beat the heat.
You're listening to the Golden Boot Podcast. Stay golden.
All right, welcome back to the Golden Boot Podcast. We're talking Caitlin Clark, all-time NCAA scoring. The question is, and I want everybody to answer. You've had enough time to think about it. I'm going to repeat it. Is it better to have an NCAA championship under your belt as a modern-day player, or is it better to go down in history as the all-time leading NCAA scorer? What do you guys think?
I mean,
Okay.
I'd like a ring.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's interesting that you asked that question.
Sure.
And I'll tell you why.
Okay. Why?
Because I know a coach that won Final Four MVP.
Yep.
She won National Player of the Year. She won a national championship as a player.
Sure.
Is now a coach that
Okay.
actually had a player set some records yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
She had some interesting things to say about that. Would you like to hear it?
Yeah. Let's hear it.
One of your players reach those goals. I love to see players reach any, milestone or goal. I think it's, as a coach, those moments you get to see, hopefully if you do it long enough, and I've been doing this a long time, we don't have to say how long, but I've seen people achieve some really cool things and reach their dreams and maximize their potential. And, for me, it's hopefully I'll see a lot more players come through here and reach their dreams and maximize their potential. But for Jordan, this is something she's going to remember for the rest of her life. And she's going to be able to tell her kids and her grandkids, her families can tell stories about this for the rest of their lives. Those are core memories that you get to be part of, that you get to experience. I'm a big believer in, the universe kind of makes it right for the people that deserve it. And I have faith and I know that my steps are ordered. And I told Jordan after the game, that's why you didn't make a bucket the last 3 games, because it was meant to happen here on your senior night in front of your family, the way that it happened. I mean, this team, this program would not be what it is today without that kid. And I mean that on the court, I mean that off the court, I mean that in the community. She's super humble, so she'll never tell you that. But it is, I get asked this question a lot, it is hard to put into words what it means to have Jordan here for her 6th year, having battled through everything she went through, even before this year, but this year, and to be out there for her teammates, to experience what she did today, hopefully to experience what we're hoping to experience in March. And for me to be part of that with her is an honor and a blessing.
And Chris, who was that?
So that is Shay Rao.
Uh-huh.
And she won Final Four MVP playing for UConn while winning a national championship.
Mm-hmm.
So
what year was she
there? Early 2000s. Okay. So the player she's talking about is Jordan Cambridge.
Yep.
Yesterday, she set the all-time steals record at Vanderbilt University. She also scored her 1,000th career point.
Mm-hmm.
And she joined an elite club of 1,000 points scored, 500 rebounds, 300 steals, 400 assists.
Mm-hmm.
She's in elite company in the SEC.
Oh, sure.
And the way Shay Ralph puts it is, those are memories that nobody can ever take away.
Yeah, absolutely.
And those are highlights of her career that nobody can ever take away.
Yeah.
So I feel like she was saying that the personal excellence and excelling and maximizing potential is bigger than winning a championship.
Well, and I mean, I can agree with her to a degree, but JQ has a really good point. He says, ask Dan Marino.
Yep.
Dan Marino is the GOAT QB of all time, and he's sliding down that list year after year just because he doesn't have the rings. Records get broken, and future generations only remember championships. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
I don't, because I remember Dan Marino. I watched him play. I know what he was.
Right.
Yeah, the problem is, though, this generation didn't get to see that.
Future generations.
And it's a shame because Dan Marino was fantastic.
Because
but, I mean,
like here's okay, because here's my take on this, right? I mean, Cody, you and I aren't too far apart in age. Chris, you're a dinosaur compared to the both of us.
You're about to be a dinosaur. What are you talking about?
Ooh,
We're only the same age for another month.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding. But no, Chris isn't even that old. But he's just a little crusty.
I mean, it's...
but no, sorry. But no, like, yeah.
At least I'm not this crusty.
That's true. That was
that's gonna be George on his toilet after all these brownies.
That's okay. That's fine. Whatever. I must have had some brownies with some special ingredient in them that day. But
I want to warn everybody too.
What?
If I seem a little bit on edge tonight, I got some news yesterday that I'm not happy with.
Let me just tell you, this was insane.
Yeah, well, and we'll get to that in a minute. But what I'm saying is, we're like the whole Dan Marino thing, like with a brand new Gen Zer coming in that is growing up in this Patrick Mahomes era. Okay, when they hear Dan Marino, they don't know who he was. They don't know who he is. They see videos of him, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All they see, hang on. All they see is, well, he doesn't have a ring. So how great was he? He's got a point.
Yeah, I mean, realistically too. Okay, so like you look at Tom Brady with all the rings that he was able to get.
Yeah.
He is not the reason his teams got all those rings. He is a big part of the reason, but he is not the reason, because the ring is definitely a team effort, no matter what. I don't care how many good players you have. It is a team effort.
Okay, so here's a better question: are people going to remember Caitlin Clark more or Angel Reese more?
I'm gonna say Angel Reese, just because of the media attention that she gets.
What do you think?
And also
Chris?
because that.
What do you think?
So for me, I think it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Yeah.
Me personally, I'm going to remember Caitlin Clark. Because being a person that grew up in Iowa and know where she came from and what she did, that's spectacular.
Oh, absolutely.
And we'll get into some Iowa things later on.
Yeah.
But for me, Angel Reese, the only thing I'm going to remember her for is being such a divisive personality that created so much drama. I'm not going to remember her basketball talent.
Yeah. I mean, you got a point. And that brings me to, because there's so much you can talk about with this. And I have another graphic somewhere in here. It's not that one. Oh, it must be in this one. Yeah, this one right here. So here it is. So she sits at the top of all of these greats, right? 3,668 points since the NCAA has been there. Since the NCAA has been an entity, all-time NCAA scoring leader, right? And that's great. There's an argument saying that even though she holds the record, okay, that because she does not have a national championship, she is not an elite caliber player like some of the others. Now, I don't believe that.
I disagree.
I mean, I think Caitlin Clark is one of the best women's basketball players I've ever seen. Honestly, overall basketball players I've ever seen.
Yeah.
That go through the college ranks. I mean, and clearly her position on that chart solidifies that for sure. And also did not realize Brittany Griner had that many points in college.
A bunch.
Yeah.
And a bunch.
Okay.
But like,
so
go ahead, Chris.
I'm going to bring out the name Della Don.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody considers her to be great in college, but she's one of the greatest NBA players to ever live, and she never won an NCAA championship.
James says, Angel who? JQ says, I know that rings are team accomplishments, but that conversation seems to be lost in the GOAT conversations these days. Yeah. Championships are team accomplishments. Absolutely. Sarah says you have the right team. You have to have the right team to get a national championship. The milestones are personal. Caitlin's made herself the best she can be, regardless of her team. 100%. 100%.
I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if she made the All-Star team in the WNBA in her first season.
Yeah.
Like, she's that good.
So and let me put this in a different light. Okay. I've seen some things that most of the people here watching haven't seen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I watched a girl score 105 points in one ball game.
Mm-hmm.
105 points.
God almighty.
I remember her scoring that 105 in that one game.
Yep.
More than I ever remember how many championships she ever won.
There you go.
That's insane. I think I'd get bored of the game if I scored that much.
I remember Jim Kelly going to 4 straight Super Bowls, regardless of how many he won. I remember Dan Marino throwing for 4,000 and 5,000 yards every year, regardless of how many Super Bowls he won.
Right.
I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. It is.
It's a personal thing. It depends on how you look at it.
Yeah. And this is an example of a description of Pistol Pete. Former LSU head coach Dale Brown reportedly charted every shot Pete Maravich took in college and found that if there had been a 3-point line, he would have averaged 57 points a game.
Absurd.
What would the equivalent to over the course of Pistol Pete's 3 seasons with LSU? 4,731 career points. Caitlin Clark currently has 3,685. Maravich also averaged 39 points a game when the NCAA didn't allow freshmen to play varsity. There was no shot clock to speed up the pace of the game either. This is not to discredit anything Clark has done, who has no doubt been transcendent for women's sports and basketball as a whole. But like Kim Mulkey said, it's like comparing apples to oranges. Put some respect on Pistol Pete's name. Yeah.
I think that's well said.
I don't think anybody's disrespecting Pete.
I don't think so either. I really don't.
Well, there was some people that were basically saying, well, hey, who's Pistol Pete? I don't care about that. What she did is better than he did. I'm like, okay.
That's exactly what JQ's saying, though.
Yeah.
How many championships did Pistol Pete win?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
so why do we have to have that conversation? So why do we have to have that conversation about Caitlin Clark? It's stupid. It's ignorant.
So I will say this, though. Fans were more outraged when Anthony Davis's son almost passed Pistol Pete.
Troy, you just got to comment more, bro. God.
If you make George some brownies, he'd post your comments more.
No, that's not the case. But you were there. Next generation won't remember her breaking this record, and they'll say, how many rings Iowa got? I didn't start that conversation. George did. That's true. It's true. That's my fault.
How dare.
Still and yet. Both of those players are and were fantastic.
Yeah, for sure.
But like I know they're like, and I'm not saying that this is a personal deal with me. Like no, not your special brownies, Troy. I'm not saying that it's a personal belief of mine that she's better than Pistol Pete or better than whatever, or she's not as good because she doesn't have a national champion. That's not anything to do with that's not me. I'm stating what I have seen on social media today and all this week. And the argument has been from really diehard LSU fans. Well, she's not really elite because she didn't have a championship. Like, Reese does. And I'm like,
Angel
Why
Reese
are
also
we-
only has 2,045 points in her career over 4 seasons. So,
right.
Who rode the bench before she transferred to LSU?
She played quite a bit, but she made the right move for her career, I think. I'm not
Oh
complaining.
yeah. She's definitely got it. She's definitely got a ring. So obviously she made the right move.
Angel Reese reminds me of some of them Georgia players I saw yesterday who had fingernails longer than my fingers. You can't play ball like that.
You really can't.
No, you can't. Well, it's
Had
definitely
weeds that hung
something.
down to their knees.
Oh Lord. It's
I
definitely
promise
something
you
that
they
we'll
did.
remember. That's crazy. Caitlin Clark, congratulations to her. We'll see
For sure.
more of her, I'm sure. And it would not surprise me if she takes the WNBA by storm. So
Oh, for sure. I'll be pulling for her. I'm
yeah.
very happy for her accomplishment.
Yeah. But you know what, Cody? You have brought a lot tonight to talk about.
Unfortunately,
let's get into it. Go
Let's do
for it.
All right, where you want to start?
Anywhere
Let's
you
talk
want
about
to start,
let's talk
sir.
about Oklahoma and 71 straight wins.
Yeah, let's do that. I think that's a great one.
Because I love talking about record streaks.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and it was part of our graphic for tonight. I mean, that's huge. I mean,
That's
you
a
win
big deal.
71 games in a row. I don't care what sport it's in. That's amazing. But doing it in a baseball, softball type setting, that is hard. That is beyond hard to do. And Oklahoma it is, I'm not going to say they were because they still are the pinnacle of college softball. They really, I mean, they're just, elite. Like, I don't understand how they've gotten so good over the years. Like, it's unheard of.
Yeah.
I've never seen such dominance in my life. And it's weird that they're not talking about more.
Yeah.
What they've done. You win that many games, and then that was weird. Did my internet cut out on you guys just now?
Yep.
Okay, that was strange. I don't know what happened there.
That was
But
strange.
no,
Yeah.
that's the second time it's done this tonight. I don't know what's going on, but no, just to see a team do what they've done over the years has been absolutely amazing. And I mean, them losing to UL is not a bad thing because UL has been very solid in softball over the years. So it's not like it's they lost to a team that's like and something. I mean, like UL is a respectable team that will make the NCAA tournament this year.
Right.
And, but I mean, it's the scary. I think it's more scary the fact that now that they've lost, how do they bounce back from this? Because there's girls on this team that have never lost before.
Right.
In college. This could either be the setting for just a basic year for Oklahoma. I highly doubt that. Or this could be the unleashing of a scary giant that nobody knew existed. The only thing that really bothers me, though, is the fact that you have one undefeated team left in college, and yet a different team is number one. I would have left Oklahoma at number one. Why did Texas jump them for number one in the softball rankings?
I don't know. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Look, I love my LSU Tigers, biased as could be. I wouldn't even put them at number one over Oklahoma right now.
No.
I have no reason to. I mean, 19-0 is a great start, but hadn't even played a conference game yet. So,
yeah.
You get some sweeps in conference, then sure, talk to me. But, man, that's just insane what Oklahoma's been able to do. Oh, yeah. I was about to say there's a graphic right there for it.
Yep. There it is.
Cajuns on top.
Snap the longest win streak in the country. Yep.
So
doing it on the road is cool.
Yeah. That win streak was 71 games.
Yeah.
So let's hear from the people in the comments. What is the longest winning streak that you remember? Any sport that you personally remember or that you personally witnessed?
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's a really good one. That's a really, really good one. So put in the comments what you remember as the longest winning streak.
I actually have 3 that I personally remember. One that I saw in person. There was a high school basketball team in Iowa that won 133 straight games.
Do you know how many people right now are Googling as we speak? What's the longest?
The cool thing about that is,
yeah,
that team,
yeah,
only had 15 boys in the entire high school. 14 of them were on the basketball team that won 3 straight state championships.
Wow.
And the 15th boy was a state champion wrestler.
Wow.
15 boys in the entire high school won 133 straight games. Okay. Now, the 2 other streaks I remember that I wasn't part of or that I didn't see personally, De La Salle in high school football.
Yeah.
And then the University of Columbia, 41 straight losses in college football.
I remember one in particular because I have kind of vendetta against the head coach forever. Was Allen High School in Texas, because Chad Morris went back to coach and snapped, I don't know, like an 80-something win streak or something like that. That was hilarious, by the way. Anyway, that's what I remember.
My favorite is 173-0. Bill Goldberg's undefeated streak in World Championship Wrestling.
Oh,
there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
And I bet to say everybody remembers that.
I forgot about that. I forgot about
yeah, but
him.
what about I don't know. Probably the one that I remember the most is the Undertaker's.
Yeah, his WrestleMania streak.
WrestleMania. Was it 16-0?
No, it was 21-0.
Yeah, 21-0, and then the by default freaking Lesnar.
Yep, sure did. And then that one fan was like in the crowd. I mean,
yep.
I remember. So it's funny you bring that up because I was watching that and I had some friends over and we were all watching it together. And obviously every year we always say, "Is this the year the Undertaker would lose?" And we would always say it, but none of us ever believed it. And when it happened, not only was the entire arena of the Superdome, or it was literally sold out. So I mean, it was like 80,000+ people.
Literally could heard a pin drop in there. Yes.
Yeah, like no one believed it actually happened. Everybody thought it was a fast count and it was a mess up.
Yep.
And like even my house, all of us were just like, we just did not know what just happened.
No.
And then like when they officially announced it, like we were all just like, what? Like none of us said a word for like 5 minutes because we were so shocked. And it matched what happened on the TV. It was weird.
And I remember that Brock Lesnar, his team put out something afterwards that he was getting hate mail and death threats and all this from Undertaker fans. He was, I mean, like it was bad.
It was.
It was bad.
It's insane. But I mean, it was, and a lot of people say, well, wrestling's fake. No, wrestling is predetermined. The outcome is known.
Yeah.
But what they do in that ring is insane. And we will get to that in a minute. Trust me. But
yeah, we will.
That night. What a night.
So the Goldberg streak, do you remember how it ended?
Yeah, Scott Hall with the taser. And he hit him with the taser, and Kevin Nash with the jackknife powerbomb.
Okay, did you know they double crossed him on that? It was not supposed to have ended that way.
Wow.
Really?
Yes, but
Scott
Hall, Kevin Nash, and Bill Goldberg were all best friends.
Oh.
And Goldberg and Kevin Nash actually do antique cars together, collectible cars together, which is really cool when you look into what they do.
Yeah.
But it wasn't supposed to have ended that way.
Interesting.
And they pulled a fast one on him. But he never took it personal.
Before we get into all of that, because we are going to take one more break here in just a second, and then we'll close out with that because I know you got a lot to do. This is actually a very interesting story. So Notre Dame College, a D2 school in Ohio, announced they are shutting down their football program because over 90 players entered the portal in the last 3 days from when this was posted. That is an insane
except
stat.
for they entered the transfer portal when they announced to the team that they were going to shut the program down. They didn't close it because they were transferring out.
Oh,
they transferred
gotcha.
out
Okay.
because they're closing it.
Oh, okay.
The problem is there's no money.
Wow. So they just couldn't make any money, and they just had to shut the football program down.
That sucks.
I thought it was because they were transferring out is the reason why they shut it down. That would have been nuts.
Yeah, and Hunter, don't get your hopes up. It's not the Notre Dame.
No, it's not.
I mean, you're shutting the program down. You have to transfer.
Yeah, you got to. Okay, so we're gonna take a quick break here, and when we come back, Cody's got a lot more to go off of regarding pro wrestling and some interesting information out of that side of things, some retirement, some different things. So we'll get into that here in just a minute, right here on the Golden Boot Podcast. We'll be right back.
I'm coming. Hold your horses.
What are they picking up?
Bills.
Another member of the mafia. Is this going to be their year?
Could be. I'd rather not say.
Why?
It's not going to be an easy year for them.
No, it is not. They got to go up against that pilot in New York.
Twice.
I mean, that whole division is tough.
Division? How about that whole conference? I mean, this guy definitely wants a shot. I love you.
She'll be with you in a minute. She needs a moment.
Leave me and Joe alone.
These guys, they want to make it a dynasty.
Like they aren't already a dynasty.
They aren't. You need at least 3.
Says who?
Says this guy. Those guys definitely have something to say about it.
Listen, I am not interested in those old heads. I like the up-and-coming squad. Can you imagine trying to cover this guy?
Actually, in high school, I was pretty quick.
Stop. Oh, those guys fly.
Same with these guys.
And this entire team flies.
They were so close, I bet.
Don't you say it.
I wasn't going to.
Uh-huh.
I bet they could do it.
They all could. That's why we love it.
And everyone's got a chance.
Everyone's got a chance to stick it to the doubters or start a new legacy. A chance to chase records and a chance to chase quarterbacks.
It's just good to have football back.
Especially him. Welcome back.
Thank you. Let's do it. Let's
All right
go.
now.
All right, welcome back to the Golden Boot Podcast. Midway through hour number 2, let's get this thing started. Cody, take it away, buddy.
Yeah, did you send Beaver the link?
Yep.
All right, perfect. Yeah, so as people might have noticed in the last few shows, we've kind of started talking about other sports outside of baseball and football. I mean, like tonight we talked a lot about basketball. It's awesome. So kind of like with the Golden Boot, I mean, yes, we like to talk about sports that are in season, but we also kind of just want to talk about a little bit of everything, whether sometimes it may not even be sports related. Like we just like to talk about it. It's fun. It's a lot of good stuff. But no, so there's been a few announcements made the last few days, and obviously the biggest one is Sting had his final match and it took place at All Elite Wrestling's pay-per-view last night, and it was it called Revolution, where he teamed up with his tag team partner Darby Allin and took on the Young Bucks, which apparently that was his handpicked choice to be his retirement opponent, which was awesome. And Sting is 64 years old. The man's been wrestling longer than me. What you got, Chris?
Ric Flair wrestled his final match 27 times.
I was about to say, yeah, true. I truly believe this is it for Sting. And speaking of Ric Flair, so Ric Flair was there in his corner. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat was there in his corner. Well, it wasn't not necessarily in his corner. He's like the guest timekeeper, but then there was a lot of legends that were out in the crowd as well for it. And the coolest part of the entire night was Sting, one of his sons played tight end at Kentucky, but he has two sons, and one of them dressed up as his old WCW persona, the Surfer Sting. The other son dressed up as his NWO Wolfpack Sting, which is probably his most popular one overall. And then obviously he dressed up as his Crow Sting, which, by the way, there was a story that came out that it was not based on the movie The Crow. It's just someone said, "Oh, you're the Crow Sting," and he just went with it. But he was actually influenced by the band Kiss. And I was like, "What?" I was like, "That's just so cool to see." And so, I mean, there's just a lot of coolness to it. Was that Beaver just popped in?
Yep, we have a special guest tonight who knows a lot more about this than I do. Welcome in Brandon Beaver Bisco Bean. What's up, dude? How are you?
Hey, guys.
Yeah,
this is the first time we've had the Beaver on the hair. How about that?
I'm excited to have him on.
I know.
So, Bisco, so basically, I was just kind of giving a rundown of like kind of what led into last night with Sting and everything, with him having Flair in his corner, having Steamboat out there as a timekeeper, and then a ton of legends in the stands. So a fun fact too, one of his friends who I believe was there last night, the legend Magnum TA, who got injured in a car wreck that ended his career early. I used to work with him actually. Wow. I used to work for a telecommunications company, and he was actually a project manager there. And I was informed of this, and I said, "No way!" So I found his name, and I was like, "His real name's Terry Allen." I was like, "There's no way this is him." Yeah. Shoot him an email, like I need to ask him something. Sure enough, it was him. I was like, "Hey, I need you to call me about this part." And he called me, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm talking to Magnum TA." So yeah, and so we kind of became friends like through that, and it was actually a really cool experience. But no, Brandon, man. So I'm assuming you got to watch the match, yes?
Unfortunately, with everything that's been going on, I have not had a chance to watch Revolution yet.
Okay.
I didn't even watch Raw tonight, so
obviously I'm not watching Raw, but so last night at Revolution might have been the greatest retirement match that I have personally ever watched in my life. And I brought in a few highlights from it to share.
Even better than, I mean, not that this actually stuck, but even better than Flair versus Michaels with the "I'm sorry."
So if Flair would have never stepped in a ring again, then that would have gone down as the greatest match.
That's why I left. That's why I added the preface that it didn't stick.
Yeah, I like to pretend that his Flair's most recent retirement match never happened. So that was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. But Sting did some stuff last night that a 64-year-old man should not do. And I'm going to show a quick highlight of one of the moves he did last night.
Tell me it's not true.
64-year-old man should not be suplexed.
Oh my God.
I mean, even The Undertaker at the very end was showing signs.
Yes.
And
that's
Sting,
true.
The fact that he's still able to do the crazy stuff that he was able to do in his last match, it is incredible. And, you know, not that, it's not a huge thing really, but it's still kind of impressive at his age being able to bleed as much as he did. I did see that part.
Yes.
The fact that he was able to do that, no problem.
Sarah, turn away if you're watching. You do not want to see this.
Oh yeah, so
I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, so go ahead and turn it away because I'm about to show another clip that happened in the match that was one of the most insane spots I've ever seen happen in a legit organized like prime time wrestling.
Right.
That should not happen.
Good God in heaven.
But to be fair, Darby Allin is probably the craziest human being that's ever stepped foot in a wrestling ring, and that's
Well, let me ask
lot.
you a question. Here's
I
a big
raise you
question.
Mick Foley.
Mick Foley would have done that in a heartbeat.
Well, yeah. Here's the
He
big
did
question
do that
for you,
multiple
Cody.
times.
Foley, Jeff Hardy, or Darby Allin? Who is the craziest son of a bitch in wrestling history?
Mick Foley, no question.
Mick Foley accidentally, but Darby Allin is definitely making a name for himself.
Yeah.
Because let's be real, if Foley would have taken that spot, he would have died. Just to be perfectly real. Yeah. Darby Allin does some stunts I've never seen. But was that Jack Perry glass or was that CM Punk glass that he went through?
I think that was CM. This is Darby Allin we're talking about. That was definitely some CM Punk glass right there.
So it's funny. Like, I know you guys are big in the wrestling scene. Did you guys ever do follow any backyard wrestling when it was popular?
I did.
I mean, the guy by the name the closest thing that I ever came to anything like that was CZW.
There was a guy that he went by the name of Sick Nick Mondo.
Mm-hmm.
And
is actually who I was thinking of.
Holy cow. That guy was about the craziest dude I have ever. I mean, watching some of those videos, I'm like, dude, you're gonna die. You are going to die.
Yeah.
He jumped off of a 3-story building through 6 tables and onto what was it? It was those light tubes. Onto a bed of light tubes through 6 tables. I'm
guessing that was in CZW.
He broke 2 of his ribs and something. I'm like, good God, man, why?
Well, so with CZW too, their current I think he might have stepped down as president. What's that guy's name? He played at Penn State. God, what's his name? He's hated by everybody in CZW.
Really?
I cannot remember his name, but anyway, he's the one that's been setting up the tournament of death matches for over the last few years. But I think he let a new buyer come in because essentially, I mean, he ran out of money. I mean, this guy was literally he was making all the the DVDs and videotapes and all that in his house.
Oh my God.
Actually, no, in his grandmother's house that he lived in with his wife. And he was doing it all. And he would even wrestle as well. And he would take some beatings. And
did CZW ever use a weed eater?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. They used everything. Yeah. They would literally so here's the thing, the tournament of death match that they would do, they would do it in this guy's parents' field. They have a farm and they would do it there. They would have an ambulance on hand, and the fans were allowed to bring weapons to the show for them to use in the matches.
God almighty, man. That's
you would see cheese graters, you would see everything. EC3, I like EC3 now. That's I'm always an Ethan Carter fan. I have.
He got. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of him, but he was. He did get a bit of a bad rap in WWE, and to that last match that popped up. Yeah, New Jack was a crazy ass motherfucker.
Dude, when his head hit the concrete and he suffered that legit brain injury.
Have you seen the U-Shoot interview with him?
Yes.
The hoe bag.
Dude.
There we go.
I mean, he is legitimately
That's
insane.
all I'm gonna say. If you haven't seen it, go look it up. It's hilarious.
Yes, I would have never. If I was a professional wrestler, I would have never agreed to wrestle the man because I truly believe he wanted to kill his opponent. It was real to him to the end.
Oh yeah.
Like there was a kid that came into ECW and they lied about his age. Okay, the mass transit accident is what it's called, and literally just cut the kid to pieces. Kid was like what, 19 years old or something. Lied about his age.
He was younger than
or
that.
17. No, he was 17.
16 or 17 because that was a whole scandal where they lied about being over 18 and being trained.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and he was clearly not trained, and he took some of the worst bumps and cuts, and I mean, it was nasty.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, I believe he passed away actually a few years ago. I mean, not due to that match, but even though he arguably should have died from that match, but but it's funny we're talking about all this because George, if you'll go into the slides there on the Paul Heyman being announced as the Hall of Fame inductee.
Yes.
Makes sense considering it's in Philly.
Yes.
There you go.
I think the fans are going to go crazy for that because at the end of the day, he is the pioneer of hardcore wrestling. He really
That
is.
guy,
He brought something new to the table. I
man.
mean, he may not have paid his guys all the time, but he got a lot. He made a lot of people a lot of money over the years.
He was one of the best, like, guys you love to hate.
Oh, and trust me, I have a feeling that it's all about. He's about to be hated even worse because I have a feeling that he's about to become the biggest heel that he's ever been when he somehow betrays the bloodline.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't necessarily think he's going to go join Cody Rhodes, but I think he might align with The Rock. Or it's a shame that Brock can't come back, but that's a whole different.
said when he was talking about throwing that dude off the scaffolding match, he said it didn't just throw him far enough, and the rope saved him.
Yep.
Yeah.
New Jack scalped that kid, as we say.
He did.
Cody, so do you think, especially considering it seemed like they were going to they were planning on going Rock versus Roman at Mania, but then obviously the fans basically told them, nope, we need Cody. Do you think we do ever get Rock versus Roman either at SummerSlam or next Mania, or is that dream finally officially done and dusted?
No, I don't think it's done. I think that WWE understands that they really dropped the ball with Undertaker and Sting. The fans wanted that so bad that they never able to put it together. I think this is a match that they want to put together, and I think that while they see that, hey, obviously it's time for Cody Rhodes to have his time, I think this is going to be a situation where either night one, you're going to see The Rock turn on Roman Reigns, or night two, let's say they win that tag team match, it becomes a bloodline rules match. The Rock cost him the belt when it matters the most. And either way,
I think you're probably right, and I could essentially see them building it for a whole year, basically like what they did with Rock versus Cena, and build it from Mania up until next year.
Yeah, and that would make sense. But my thing is, though, I feel like The Rock needs to be utilized sooner rather than later, though. But then again, you can really build up this new heel character for him and keep it going, and that would also be good.
Yeah.
But I don't know if Roman Reigns is planning on taking any time off after Mania, or like what his schedule's looking like, because I think that will play a big part in it too. But it's clear that both these guys want to wrestle at WrestleMania. So I think it makes sense.
Ooh. Chris Joseph says Stone Cold is coming back for Mania.
I hope so.
I would hope so. I just don't see now if it wasn't for Punk getting injured, I would love to see Punk versus Stone Cold.
Same.
Let me tell you something. Because Stone Cold said so.
But that is one match that I think I know will never happen, and
I want it though.
It wouldn't overshadow. I don't think one would overshadow the other. But two mega main events for next year's Mania: Punk versus Stone Cold, Rock versus Roman.
It makes sense. But the crazy thing is, it's weird that they would highlight a WrestleMania without a belt being on the line in the main event.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy to me?
What's that?
What?
34 years ago. Do the math. 34 years ago. I was watching Cody Rhodes wrestle weekly shows in Columbia, Tennessee at an armory.
No, you're watching Dustin Rhodes.
Yeah, that would be Dustin.
I was watching Cody Rhodes doing weekly shows in Columbia, Tennessee 34 years ago.
Well, how old is Cody Rhodes?
He's like 38.
Trust me. No.
Okay. All right.
I was watching Cody Rhodes wrestle for a group out of Memphis 34 years ago in Columbia, Tennessee.
When he was born in 1986.
When Dustin Rhodes was making his run in the WWE.
Was he 4 years old? Yes or no?
I'm telling you.
Was he 4 years old or not?
What you're watching is not Cody Rhodes.
What?
He was.
We've lost it. We've lost Vandy. Just move on.
What you're watching is not the real Cody Rhodes.
What are you talking about?
It's a different dude.
How? He's 38 years old. He's born in 85.
They don't go by their normal names. Cody Rhodes was from Jackson, Tennessee, and I was watching him 34 years ago.
Oh, I was like, what?
Cody Garrett Rhodes. Cody Garrett Runnels Rhodes.
I was about to say I thought he changed his last name to Rhodes.
All right.
Yeah. I did not know there was another Cody Rhodes though.
I
That's
didn't either.
interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting.
That was weird.
That was a weird cluster.
I do find it funny though that Cody essentially dresses like Dustin did as the Natural in his early days in WCW. I like that a lot.
Everybody's like, wait, Cody's 38, man. Come on.
I was
so is Dustin Cody?
Yeah, that's where I was going with it too.
I'm gonna shoot you some funny some deep facts right here. You'll get a kick out of this, I'm sure, Cody, and maybe even George and Vandy, depending upon how much they know.
Yeah.
Best gimmick of Dustin Rhodes' career, 7.
Oh yes, God yes. That was the weirdest. Those vignettes were the weirdest things
they were.
Was ever.
And then that worked shoot that he does on his first night in the ring.
Yes, he was like, "Yeah, this sucks."
You said I just want Cody and Dustin versus
Dustin
Rock
again.
and Roman.
So so that's actually a good point right here. So there has been talks. There has been talks of WWE reaching out to Tony Khan and seeing if Dustin Rhodes can appear at WrestleMania. Will it happen? Maybe not. But Peter Rosenberg is actually the one that brought this up, and he's got he literally is on the payroll for WWE. So
right,
maybe he knows something we don't know. But I would be all for that.
Yeah,
because Dustin can still go.
Right.
But yeah, it's last night was crazy though. So Brandon, I will say if you get a chance, definitely watch Omega and Takeshita. That one was probably one of the coolest matches that you could ever see as an official debut match. Even though Ospreay, not Omega. But yeah, Ospreay looked fantastic last night.
What debut match are you talking about?
I wish Omega was back. I miss him. But Kyle O'Reilly being back made me happy. Big fan of his. Glad he's healthy again. I'm still curious of what they're trying to do with Christian. I don't understand his family storyline at all. I think it's kind of stupid.
I think they're just it seems to me that they're just in a holding pattern until they decide to turn Christian face again and do Edge and Christian together.
Yep.
Is it possible that that's going to lead to this new? Because it would make so much sense to have them win the third longer held by.
You're cutting out.
Yeah, you're cutting out.
I know.
Now you're
being stupid.
Now you're good.
Yeah, I don't know what it's doing. Like I have literally perfect internet. It says, but for some reason it's just not reading on here. I must have too many devices connected or something. I have no idea.
I agree with Jock. R-Truth as leader of Judgment Day, please.
Yes, amen to that.
You get it right. It's Q. It's not Jock. It's JQ. Good Lord.
Oh, fine.
Colin calls him something else. So
I know. Yes, I'm here.
Who just?
I don't know. Somebody did something.
Probably either Hunter and.
It was Colin.
Yeah, he was in here earlier.
Hello, Colin. How are you, buddy? But yeah, I was very happy with everything that happened last night. Honestly, I'm a big fan of the Timeless Toni Storm storyline. I think everything they're doing with her is perfect, and she is executing it to a maximum level. And I do not want to see her lose the belt to Sasha Banks or Mercedes Moné, whatever she goes by in AEW. But
yeah, you got it right.
We can do that. We can do that. We'll go to 1040. That'll work. A little bit of bonus action. We'll do that.
Yeah, we can definitely do that.
But you already know. I know you say you don't want it to happen, but you already know that if Mercedes Moné is coming in,
Oh, she 100% is. If you look at the graphic they shared for that Boston show, she's 1000% guaranteed.
Yeah.
So,
And it's
a
Boston.
shame, but yeah, exactly.
What do you not like Mercedes Monet?
I don't dislike her, but I've never been a fan. I mean, she's
Really?
she's great in the ring at what she does, but I've just
I
never.
don't even know who she is.
That's another match in WWE that I mean, 3 of the 4 are still in the company. So if Mercedes decided to go back, you certainly could do it. But I want the 4 horsewomen match.
I do too. I want that actually a lot. I want to see now that Vince McMahon's out of the picture and all this. I do want to see a crossover event. I think it's got to happen.
Or Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah. No. With like AEW and WWE.
Between like AEW and WWE or TNA and WWE.
Yeah, or really just all of them. Like
Okay.
imagine like a championship match with all like the whoever the champions are.
The only thing about that, and this has been the case throughout wrestling history, is each company is wanting.
It's time for Beaver Analysis with Bisco B.
Presented by Amazon.com. Get your lumber from Amazon.com today. Colin, get back to work and get out of the studio.
That wasn't me. But
No,
I do love that.
Colin, not you.
Okay.
I told him to get back to work.
I put my hands up. That wasn't me.
No, but the problem with those types of like cross promotional shows is that each company wants to keep their champion strong. So
It's time for Beaver Analysis with Bisco B.
Presented by Amazon.com. Get your lumber from Amazon.com today.
They are just absolutely screwing with you, Brandon. And it's
Hey, if they play one more of these, we're charging Dogs Media $1,300 for the advertisement spots.
$1,300
Like you never really get a true winner for any of those matches.
No, you don't. You really don't, and it's a shame. It really is. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how they would be able to book it because I mean, like you said, I mean, you can't. I mean, obviously, they wouldn't put Roman Reigns out there versus let's say Josh
Samoa
Alexander.
Joe.
Let's say he had the belt or Samoa Joe. Yes, and let Samoa Joe tap him out. Like that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
It'd be funny.
Question for you, Cody: when and where do we see the Salt of the Earth next?
You know, I've been wondering that, and I think once Adam Cole is officially healed, I think that's when he comes back. Because I think that is going to be the storyline, and I think
That's gotta be.
Yeah, if Cole wouldn't have gotten hurt, I think it would have happened sooner rather than later. But I'm happy that he's getting the time off to actually rest and not feel like crap because I know that he's been beat up like crazy, so he needs all the rest he can get. But he pretty much solidified the other day that he's sticking with AEW based off social media posts when Sean Spears showed up in NXT. Speaking of that, I don't know if you've seen it, but have you seen the Dreadmare YouTube account?
No.
Okay. When you get a second, go look up Dreadmare. It's essentially Bo Dallas taking over the reins of the Wyatt Six. And essentially it's confirmed that Sean Spears was the first key to that. And it is very interesting video series. A lot of people are saying it's fake. Sean Ross Sapp saying it's fake. I don't think it can be fake. It is that good. So
that's a good question. Who is Brandon's favorite wrestler?
It's time for Beaver Analysis with Bisco B.
Presented by Amazon.com. Get your lumber from Amazon.com today. That'll be $10,000 there, Colin.
Yes.
But it depends.
damn.
If you're talking currently, currently I'd probably say either Roman or Moxley. And then
Roman
all
Reigns.
time probably either Stone Cold or Foley.
I like that. I like that. Yeah, Sting and Bret Hart were always my two favorites growing up. I literally my first.
I mean, I like WCW, but I was always more in the Attitude Era. I was always more of a WWE guy.
Sure. My parents
All-time
wouldn't let me watch it.
All-time favorite for me was Undertaker. You couldn't.
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, you
He's
couldn't.
definitely up there for me.
But you know who I liked growing up because like
Rico.
when I was no Yes. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I still like him.
You're saying growing up that you? How old are you,
bro? That's for me to know and you to find out.
He's 34. He'll be 35 next month.
I'll be 35.
Wait, how do you count that as growing up? That was when I was in college, so you would have been past college.
Past college? No.
Yes.
Daniel
No,
Bryan
I was a
like
teenager,
20
bro.
No.
When Daniel Bryan was going
Yes.
strong?
Depends. Well, it depends. Hold on now. It depends. Were you watching Ring of Honor Wrestling? Because that's
okay. See,
yes. Did you just get muted, Beaver?
I think so. Somebody muted him. It wasn't me.
I know it was Colin, but you were saying yes, so I was thinking WWE era version.
Well, it was. He was in the WWE, was he not?
He wrestled a couple of Velocity and Heat matches, but nothing that was ever.
No. It was Daniel. It was Daniel Bryan, and it was when
that was in like 2012, 2013.
Yeah,
that was when I was a teenager.
You were 20.
No, then you must be in your 20s.
No. Hang on. No. Not 2012, 2013. We're talking. This is before that, y'all. I remember watching Daniel Bryan before that.
He debuted in like 2010.
No.
Yes.
No. There's no way.
I remember watching him in the
There's
mid
no way.
2000s, like when he was in like Ring of Honor and Pro Wrestling Guerrilla.
Yeah,
and
Ring
stuff
of
like
Honor,
that.
9 WWE.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan, okay, because that's the one that does yes, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was watching him in like 2000, bro.
No, that was WrestleMania 30. That was 10 years ago.
I'm telling y'all. I'm not. That was back in the day.
2014 is when he headlined WrestleMania.
Well, headline, yes.
That was
it was when he first started, right? So
that was
look,
2011.
Daniel Bryan started his professional wrestling career back in '99. He appeared in the WWE during the time mostly as an enhancement talent in 2002.
Enhancement talent, though. He was not featured
right.
at all.
He wasn't. Yeah. I know that, but he was a champion for a very brief moment. And they took it away. I'm telling you, I'm not making this up. You can look it up. He was a champion for a very brief moment. He was the one that everybody loved.
No idea what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh.
I'm a Beaver on this one.
And
I don't know.
Definitely.
All right, I'm looking it up right here. Look here. Here you go. In 2002 and 2003, he made multiple appearances on the secondary shows of WWE, like Velocity and Heat. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of the early members of the Ring of Honor upon its formation in 2002. NXT, blah blah blah. At WrestleMania 28, which was what was that year?
That would be 2012.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, maybe it was. I don't know. Maybe it was NXT. I don't remember. I remember watching him in 2009. He returned to WWE. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Your time is off.
I remember watching Daniel Bryan. It was when did Roman Reigns first come in?
Yeah, that was 2012.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that was 2012. My timing is off. Okay, so I wasn't a teenager, but I remember it. Okay, I remember it.
So
I was a big Austin Aries fan back in the day. That was my dude.
But
yeah.
To Colin's question, definitely Stone Cold. But
it's time for Beaver Analysis with Bisco Beeb.
Presented by Amazon.com. Get your lumber from Amazon.com today. I know he just did that just so I would say that.
He would, yes. Yeah. But, okay, so my timing was off. But I remember watching it. It was the whole Roman Reigns versus whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, we're going to take, because we got just a little bit longer here. We got some baseball to talk about, a few other things. But just want real quick before I tell you what. No, we've already done all that. Let's do this. I want to get everybody's
Disco promote his show.
Yes. That's what I was going to say.
Promotes their show.
That's what I was going to say. You need to promote your show because it's coming up. What we got?
Yes. So we still have to figure out days and time and everything, but the Bisco show will be coming up soon. Once we get everything scheduled and whatnot, talking about sports, politics, wrestling, you name it. Basically anything big that's going on, I'll cover it. bring people on, talk about it, have some fun, and bring some culture to the Dogs Media Network or Dogs TV, whatever we're calling you now.
Okay, hang on. Logo's coming in, so maybe everybody gets a sneak peek. Here it comes. Here it comes.
This is getting destroyed day one, by the way.
I don't know why we don't call the show Beaver Analysis. I think that'd be a great name.
That would be great. That would be great.
Zip it, Cody.
So yeah, you guys get a little bit of a bonus golden boot because we got the beaver on, we got all this stuff. Looky here, look at that beautiful logo.
I love it.
Logo
I
reveal
really
right there, the Bisco Show. It's gonna be great.
That's getting tossed right into the trash and burned the first show.
Are you gonna put in a
with
graphic
some Michael
request?
Bay explosions?
I don't know. I kind of like it. I like the whole Biden and Trump on the others.
I think it's fun.
It's great.
Well, Colin has set up a form where you can submit for a graphic request, and yeah, I get the emails.
That's right.
I will have my laptop set up on Wednesday afternoon, so we'll be good to go.
Yeah. So let's wrap this thing up. I want to get I want to get to these last few things here because I know we're running over just a little bit, but you guys get a little bit of bonus footage. So, Jim's I can't remember say his last name. Came up with his model for NFL draft QB rankings. He has Jaden Daniels sitting at number 1.
I mean, I'm fine with that, but
JJ McCarthy at 2, Bo Nix, Caleb Williams, Drake May, Penix. What do you guys think about this?
Get Bo Nix off that list as fast as you can.
Yeah.
And then I'm okay with the other names, but not in the order.
I would actually kind of, I don't know.